out of the box or out of the wall, we're going to call it. We have even exactly know what this is, but I did it backwards. Saw 5. So, this is the one with Julie Benz. She's the one from Dexter. And I won't lie, I liked this one a lot more than others before watching it. However, I just rewatched it. Is it as good as I remember? Let's find. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Saw 5. So what is this one about? Pretty simple premise. Detective Hoffman is now the last person alive of all this police force. However, Izzy, one FBI agent, put a pencil, not a pencil, that's impossible, a pen tube through his neck and he survived. And now this FBI agent's got to realize who is really behind helping Jigsaw. While this is happening, you have 5 characters that's kind of going back to this second and third one, where have to like maybe work together, and the first one to realize if we work together, will we all survive? Are our ambitions, or our instincts of kill each other going to kill us all? So like I said in the intro, I actually remember liking this one a lot more than other people, and rewatching it, I do. Saw 5 is such a step up from the fourth one. Is actually believably good. The writing is so much better. Bringing this back to the roots of kind of the first and second and third one really brings it out. Yes, also the traps are also less just bombastic as the fourth one. Here, there's believability of some people needing to survive. You have the cutting the head off. You have the bathtub one. You have the incinerator one of, putting the keys. And it makes you think, like, even watching the movie, you go, wait a minute, how can not 2 people fit in that tube? Wait a minute, why can't all people do this? And it makes you realize the human condition of greed. And adding that storyline, I think it is smart, unique, and adds character to this movie. And the last Saw one is kind of like a homage to Saw. Saw, cut your arm off. That is the goriest one. I think that really adds depth to it. But while that is happening, you now have these FBI agents kind of going after this cop, or vice versa, of who is actually helping Jigsaw. And this one really connects to the first one. Like, goes even back before the first one, even before the first trap. Well, kind of before the first trap, even with Amanda, because it actually makes sense now. How they wrote this one was smart, fun, and unique. Like I said, this one's about 96 minutes, so it's 1 minute more than all the other movies. And even though I do wish it would flesh out a little bit more with the whole Detective Hoffman and Jigsaw's background, which I can kind of understand it, because, then you kind of think about the trap that Detective Hoffman did to get revenge, and you go, that's a little bit too ambitious for what the Jigsaw traps were in the beginning, because it looks like Jigsaw did 1 or 2 of them, and Detective Hoffman wanted to, like, copycat Jigsaw, but the trap he made is a little bit too, like, over the top for what Jigsaw has done, and you're just like, that's not believable on any level. So there is a suspension of disbelief on that end. But I just really enjoyed this, 5-person, working together storyline, that it truly bumps it up for me as a whole. I have an itch right here. It's kind of really awkward. And it's not like I'm not doing drugs or anything. It's like, I'm a drug addict. There is a drug addict in this one as well. But then, like I said, the Detective Hoffman Jigsaw storyline does work. And I did talk about this in the first one. I did kind of skip with it with the second, third, and fourth one. The production design kind of shows in this one how cheap it is, especially a hospital room scene. It's like no hospitals ever have a door like that. I mean, I understand a door like that is maybe in a mental ward or something else. But when you have a normal, like, closet door as the patient door, you're like, so they're just telling me, like, in this area, you couldn't find an abandoned hospital or anything like that, or something just makes it more a little bit believable. So unlike the other ones where you kind of believe a meatpacking plant, this one, there was in some hospital rooms, and the production design was a little bit thrown offy for this one compared to the other movies when you're talking about the flashback sequences as well as what these cops and FBI agents are doing. There's going to be another short review because, like I said, you either seen these movies or you're not. The only reason I'm doing all 9 of these is because Saw 10 is coming out in like 4-ish days. But unfortunately, I'll be releasing these reviews after Saw 10 just because that's the way the cookie is about to crumble. So overall, Saw 5, I really enjoyed this one. To me, this one is a step up over the fourth one and the second one. I truly dug this one. I believe it put it back to the Saw 1 roots. And I might be completely in the, outlier, but I'll accept being an outlier for Saw 5. So Saw 5 will receive a 3.5 out of 5 of Futons, which equals at 70%. Let's see the critics' junior scores gave this one. So Saw 5 is right now the lowest with a 13% with 77 of them. Audience score 52%. So this is technically the lowest for audience and critics. But hey, I'll accept me being wrong. I just to let everyone know, watch every single one of them back to back, and your decision might change. Anyway, critic consensus. If the plot were as interesting as its torture devices or its violence was painful than its performances, perhaps Saw 5 might not feel like it was running on fumes. See, I disagree. I think this plot was actually bringing it back to human greed, human desire, as well as what are you willing to do to realize I fucked up and I need to take my fuckery and try to make it right in the world. But that's just my opinion. 70, 13, 52. Chase Lucky here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Futon, Tobin, you Blue Futons. Have a great day. I don't care what you say tomorrow, week, month, right here. I love every single one of you. And like I said, I did take about a 12-hour break, but 6, 7, 8, and 9 are coming really, really soon.